Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for another episode in our series on the Kaspersky Unified Monitoring and Analysis Platform. In this particular episode, we are going to be talking about event aggregation. And with that being said, event aggregation is effectively going to allow us to create rules which enables us to combine similar kinds of events to simplify the analyst's work, reduce resource consumption, and most importantly, also cut on product licensing costs. Now, aggregation combines multiple events into a single event. And aggregation by itself, an aggregation event, is created when the number of the same types of events reaches a specific threshold value, or when a specified time interval ends. And this all, of course, depends on which condition is satisfied first. So it's very similar from a firewall perspective. For example, you look at rules from the top to the bottom. Now, this works in a very similar fashion. For instance, if we examine some of the events from one of the sources, as you can see, most of the event field contains the same values. Now, that's obviously intentional, and that's because we are basing everything off of the same rule and values. All right, now let's create a new aggregation rule. We will set this threshold on the number of same type events to 5, as well as then the interval for time to 15 seconds. Next, we specify the fields whose values must match for events to be considered of the same type and suitable for aggregation. For example, if we select source and destination addresses, vendor name, and the name of the product that generated the event, that will already significantly help us to create these conditions. Furthermore, we can configure a filter to ensure that aggregation is applied only to events from a specific product, rather than all incoming events. So let's add the newly created rule to the collector and update its configuration. So let's go back to the event section and look at the aggregated event itself. Note which fields are included. The number of fields is relatively small, and the set of fields in an aggregated event depends on the list of grouping fields, which is specified according to the aggregation rule. If we edit this rule, we can specify more grouping fields, and we can add a sum field. And next up, we can update the collector configuration and review the aggregation event again. As you can see, several fields have been added, including one with a value that represents a sum. Thus, the aggregation makes it possible to reduce duplication of incoming data while retaining information that is important for analysis and, of course, according to our conditions, our rules, and our requirements. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a very quick session on the aggregation rules within the Kaspersky Unified Monitoring and Analysis Platform. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.